So I went from a Pentecostal expression of faith to a contemplative expression of faith. And that is because for a very long time, I thought jumping from one conference to another, emptying my bank accounts, waiting in line for hands to be laid upon me, volunteering and service was me seeking the kingdom. But after a decade of doing that, I was really burnt out, and then I put everything to a stop. And I began to reflect, ask questions, and study, particularly the teachings of Jesus. And what stood out for me was the fact that the kingdom of God is actually within me. And if I'm actually seeking the kingdom, that means that I'm exploring the inner realities and the consciousness of Christ that is within me. And then I also thought that being on fire for God meant that I knew God. But now I realize that knowing God has everything to do with love. And when I was, in ministry and doing all of those things, I had a very nasty behavior. And then I would, cover it under no, don't touch the Lord's anointed, do God's prophet no harm. And I was really breaking people. And so I decided that I wasn't going to do any of that anymore. That I wanted to change. I want to be a better person. I don't want to make excuses for just being a very, brutal person. And I found out from the encounter Elijah had with Mount Carmel that there was a fire, there was a thunder, but God was not in all of that. God was in the still, small voice. And then be still and know that I am God. It dawned on me that knowing God actually requires you to be in a state of stillness and not in a state of go, doing, but to be still and to know that it's God. And so I decided that I was not going to be involved in everything outward, and I was going to go within myself. So I began to every morning go within, because Christ is within me, and just be quiet and be still. And that has birthed different levels of transformation for me. And I just know that this is the real deal. And while I celebrate those external expressions, I think that this is a good place to be in, where you're just calm, where you're still, where you're quiet. And in all of that, the fruit of love, of peace, of joy, all of those things are just being birthed. And for me, that is what it means to know God. And that is what it means to be somebody that is spiritual. Okay.